Alright guys, we got the Bold M1 versus the LG G8. You can pick the G8 up for $260 and the Bold M1 should still be, you can get the renewed version for $180, but it's going to take a while before they're back in stock, the new version, but that will retail for $200. So let's go ahead and get into it because I'm getting questions about which one should I pick up. You would think it was obvious, if you have the money, go with the G8, but there is like one reason why you would get the Bold M1 over the G8. If you've been following the channel, you pretty much know where we're going here, but let's go ahead and get started with the hardware. So both these phones, beautiful devices, excellent feeling, glass and metal. On the Bold M1 we have a dual camera setup, pretty much all black design, bold down here, and kind of color shifts right here. It's something I really like, very clean, understated design here. And on the G8 we have a very nice looking phone as well, flat camera design, a fingerprint scanner on the back, G8 branding, and very nice feeling. They both have a very good weight to them as well, very premium. So on the right side of the Bold M1 you have the volume rockers and you have the power button, and on the G8 you just have the power button, but when you go to the left side on the G8 you have your volume rockers and your Google Assistant button. Actually down below you're getting the same setup, USB Type-C, one single firing speaker, and your headphone jack. Alright, so first big difference is on the Bold M1 you have a full screen display, no notch, very slim bezels, and on the G8 you have a notch up top and it's just not as attractive looking as the full screen display. Most definitely that's probably one of the biggest reasons you would pick the Bold M1. If you're super into media, when you're watching video you're just going to be super immersed in this display, and it is an AMOLED display as well. Now the G8 actually has a much better resolution display than the Bold M1. It's a 6.1 inch, so slightly smaller, but it's a 1440p display, so higher resolution. It's a POLED, 564 for the PPI, and with the Bold M1 you actually don't have that always on function with this guy. So you have 403 for the PPI on the Bold M1. You could definitely tell when looking up at text real close, you can definitely tell on both these guys who has the better display here. So it really comes down to your personal preference. Do you want a phone with a full screen display to watch videos on without any intrusion, or do you want a higher resolution display, more crispier images? Now as you can see, I'm in YouTube, Bold M1 1080p, 1440p on the G7 or the G8, excuse me. Go ahead and look and you can definitely tell the difference here, but like I said, some people want that full screen display, and that's going to be a big deciding factor. They don't like the intrusion that the G8 offers, and you also have just slimmer bezels on the Bold M1 as well. So very nice, awesome. What do you guys think? Which display are you going with? Now the Bold M1 has the Android 9 operating system, and it's basically stock Android. It's pretty smooth for what it is. It's supposed to get Android 10 Q3 2020 this year. Helio P70 processor, Mali G72, micro SD support, 128 gigs of storage, and 4 gigs of RAM. So as you can see, you're getting an excellent deal with the G8 because it pretty much kills the Bold M1. You have IP68 rating, Android 10 on here with LG skin, which is not bad at all. They really fixed it with this Android 10 upgrade. Snapdragon 855 and Adreno 640, micro SD support, 128 gigs of storage, and 6 gigs of RAM. Both these phones are extremely speedy. Let's go ahead and do a quick speed comparison, clear out all those applications, and let's try the Play Store. 3, 2, 1. See the G8. Let's try Call of Duty Mobile. 3, 2, 1. So as you can see, the G8 just beat it there, and the Bold M1 just won. So so again, if you're a gamer, as you can see on the G8 we're on HDR, extreme frame rate, and on the Bolden 1 we only can go to HD, as you can see, in high frame rate. So if you're a gamer, the G8 is going to be the way to go, unless you just really hate that notch and you want the full screen gaming experience, which is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, playing on a full screen display is very immersive, so that is awesome. Let's go ahead and check out the speaker quality, starting with the Bolden 1. So very good speakers. They're about as loud. You have a slightly fuller sound on the G8, but they're both are you know, kind of equal in loudness. I think the G8 speakers are slightly better here. You get kind of a lot of hissing on the Bolden 1 at the max volume sometimes. Alright, let's talk about cameras. So you have a dual camera setup on both. You have a 12 megapixel standard on the G8 and a 16 megapixel ultra wide, shoots in 4K for video, 8 megapixel wide, and shoots in 1080p for the front facing camera. So on the Bolden 1 you actually don't have that ultra wide, which is very disappointing. So you do have a 16 megapixel standard and a 5 megapixel depth sensor that shoots in 1080p. You have the motorized pop-up camera that shoots in 1080p. So as we can see, for video, definitely the G8 shoots in 4K. This is only maxed out at 1080p. And as we're going to see here with the photos, as you can see, the G8 is definitely taking better photos. If you need just a really good smartphone camera, the G8 is extremely underrated. It's got great color science, great dynamic range. The Bolden 1 is decent for this $200 price point, especially if you get it in good lighting, but a lot of the images are kind of soft and you don't really get that great dynamic range, and sometimes colors can be a little off, but it's not a bad camera for a quick snap of something. So G8 all the way for the cameras here. Now, as far as getting into the phone, the Bolden 1 gets cool points for having that in-display fingerprint scanner. It's very, you know, accurate if you do it right. It almost never misses. On the G8, you have the physical one, which is not as cool, but it's extremely fast. It's definitely faster than an in-display fingerprint scanner here. And also, you do not have face unlock on the Bolden 1, which sucks. So you can't use that pop-up camera to face unlock. On the G8, you of course have that, and you have your swipe gestures and your palm unlock. So if you want to unlock with your palm, you can do that. So you definitely have more stuff that you can do on the G8, more ways to get into your phone. Now, both these phones support wireless charging, but battery life is definitely going to go to the G8 as well. 3,500 milliamp battery, 18 watt fast charging. You're just getting overall better battery life, around 8 to 9 hours of screen on time. With the Bolden 1, you're getting around 6:30 to 7:30, so 6 hours and 30 minutes to 7 hours and 30 minutes. And you also have a 3,500 milliamp battery on that Bolden 1 as well, 18 watt fast charging and 10 watt wireless charging. So both are pretty good, on battery life. You're just going to get better battery life on the G8. So kind of a blowout for the Bolden 1. So definitely if you're on a strict budget, the Bolden 1 is definitely a great smartphone. As you can see, you get a lot of features, plus it wins in this display category. It really has a good display. It's a display I would choose, honestly. And the G8 is pretty much packing everything you would really want in a smartphone. So which one would you guys go with? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.